What's up, Burnouts? You know the deal by now. We're on episode 16. Next Gen Burnouts is live. I got my host here, Logan. Won't say the government last name today. And
Nice.
your other host, Jordan. We're breaking down a pretty entertaining race in Nashville on the NASCAR schedule. First things first, Logan. How you doing?
Doing good. How are you doing, man?
Hanging in there. Just watched the Melon Man get it done. And over here we're big Trackhouse racing fans, or at least I am. So it was a pretty good result.
Yeah, I can't complain. I thought Nashville was a pretty good race. Looked kind of like a common theme with Nashville, just like last year. Toyota had the speed and everything, but just could not finish. It's really rooting on Martin Truex Jr. at the end there, but it's pretty apparent that he wasn't going to be able to catch Chastain, and that was kind of the finish. Overall, I'd like to say it was a pretty good race.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was live tweeting during the event, and the burnouts were kind of giving me their feedback as well, and it was kind of an agreement with 20 laps to go. Truex just didn't have the speed. Chastain was just coasting at that point. No need to really he was within a second of him, so it was definitely a close finish, but um,
It was
yeah,
a long
those
though. It was
yeah.
pretty apparent though that nothing was really going to happen for him to be able to make a push unless there was a caution that came out, which that would have been very interesting to see if any type of caution would have came out. But just is what it is. And Chastain, he was the pole winner and ended up winning the race. So that was pretty cool to see that.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. That was his first ever pole. And then, of course, he goes on to win the race. And another thing that I thought was interesting is that was the first traditional oval that he won because his two
Oh,
other
really?
wins. Yeah, his two other wins in Cup was one was on a road course, and then the other one was Talladega, if I'm not mistaken. So, winning Talladega, don't get me wrong, that's awesome. That's a cool
Yeah, it's a big.
accomplishment, but it's like it's just like kind of outlasting the field. It's not like you're like, for example, Daytona this year. Ricky Stenhouse won it. What has he
Yeah.
done since? A whole lot of nothing. It's on those big courses. Ricky had to catch this first
To
straight of the
say a
episode, but
little, what, a couple minutes in, not even hit 3 minutes in, we threw a straight out at Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
that's how we do it. I just had to
The
send one his way.
best pain schemes in NASCAR.
What is he running?
Dude, he runs for Kroger, so he has so much
Oh
flexibility
yeah,
with his pain schemes. I've seen some crazy ones that he's done. It's I don't know, but yeah, no,
no,
good
no, I
point
get
though.
you.
He really has not done much. And now that kind of while we're talking about it, I might as well just look up. I have the points in front of me right now, so I'd like to see kind of where everyone's sitting. Well, and the good thing too, while I'm looking this up, a good thing about that race for Chastain was he was leading in points, but he just didn't have a win. So now
Yep.
he has that win, and he's looking pretty good right now.
No, he's already locked in. He was going to be locked in regardless. I don't think we're going to have 16 different winners this year.
No,
Um, that's looking pretty apparent, and he's extremely consistent. He definitely has his, every once in a while he'll have a DNF due to him getting tangled up with someone, but yeah, I'm not surprised that he got the win, or got a win, I should say, and basically just
yeah,
solidified his playoff spot.
yep. No, but I feel you, man. I'm looking at this the playoff standings right now, and a couple that kind of shocked me that squeezed in right now is technically Daniel Suarez is number 16, Bubba Wallace at 15, Chris Buescher at 12, and Brad Keselowski at 11. They all kind of snuck in there a little bit.
Who's at the cutoff line? Isn't it Bowman, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken? And
yep.
who's
Bowman and
18?
Gibbs, Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, that'd be awesome to see one of the rookies make it. I don't know if you saw Gragson's scheme this coming weekend. It's
Yeah, yeah,
the Baconator Wendy's. Now that's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
The
That's
racing stripe, and it has bacon as the racing stripes. Like that's wild. That's
I,
outlandish, honestly.
I like seeing drivers. It's especially cool for Noah because obviously he's a younger driver. He's just getting his start in Cup. To find a sponsor that they can really like attach themselves to, and if
Yeah,
his just so happens to be Wendy's, that'd be pretty cool. I mean,
that's a cool one.
I've
Yeah.
been I've been known to throw down a 4 for 4 now and again, and I know you can relate. So yeah, that's a very cool sponsor. So
To be honest, I'm gonna throw it straight. I'm not a fan of Wendy's, to be completely honest. No, it's I've had so many
big.
bad experiences at Wendy's. It's not good, but I like their paint scheme and their introduction into NASCAR. I think that's sick, and I really hope something that could get me into Wendy's if they did some type of promotional thing with Noah Gragson, if they had the Gragson meal, something like that, like give him
That'd be
some
cool.
attention. That'd be sick. And I am known to fall for NASCAR marketing schemes, and I would definitely be
Promotional,
there. Went over to
not
Andy's ice cream place and got the Austin Dillon fucking ice cream just because it had his name attached to it, you know?
and you went to Cheddar's and got the Kyle Busch burger, and
That just goes without being said. If you watch NASCAR and you're even slightly a Kyle Busch fan, you'd have to be an idiot if you haven't been to Cheddar's and got the
yeah, for
Kyle
real.
Busch.
And did you also pair it with the Kyle Busch mac and cheese, or were you kind of just kind of hesitant on that? Did you not?
Yeah, I don't think you've ever been there because that's there's not a Kyle Busch nowadays.
What's
The
the
chicken,
Kyle Busch special?
chicken finger platter, is what it is.
Is it is it chicken fried steak or something, or
Well, no, just chicken fingers. And one thing that was really cool about it too is when I went, there was promotional Kyle Busch things everywhere. Every one of the waiters, and it's actually. Have you ever been to Cheddar's? Like, no bullshit. Have you
never,
been? Ever?
never?
So it's Riley, my friend, described Cheddar's as like a nice, like sit down Applebee's, and I couldn't really picture that in my mind. But when I went there, it's literally what he says. It's like dimly lit, and it's slightly better food than Applebee's, and it's not like
But still
I don't know.
comparable to Applebee's.
Yeah, but the food was much better though. The quality is
Gotcha.
much better, and yeah, during the time they had a lot of promotional stuff going for Kyle Busch. Every single one of the waiters and waitresses had on a Kyle Busch shirt, and I'm not gonna lie, I pulled the GM aside and asked him if I could have a shirt, and he said no.
He said, "Yeah, we don't just give away our
Yeah,
work
he said
uniforms."
you
Yeah,
can
it makes sense.
fill out an application,
And
and I was like,
pick up
oh,
some
okay,
weekend pick up some
yeah.
weekend
Their big
shifts
thing,
and
like, I'm not trying to go too much on about Cheddar's, but their big thing is when you walk in, you get a free croissant. They give you that's what they start you
oh
off with is butter croissant, and it's fire, bro. It is
wow,
insane.
okay. I
Order like
gotta
croissants for like $2 too. So obviously you're gonna add that onto your order, and it was really good. So that's just kind
I
of
got
going off a little bit of a tangent, but yeah,
no, I just got to follow up on that tangent. And, the burnouts might not believe it, but up until Kyle Busch was racing for Cheddar's, like as one of his primary sponsors, I
yeah.
didn't even know what Cheddar's was. I got one couple miles away from me, and I had never even heard of Cheddar's, to be completely honest with you. So, uh, I kind of thought that paint scheme was a little lame, to be honest with
What the
you.
red, white, and
But
blue
it's
one this weekend?
he was.
Are you talking
I
about
didn't even
that one
notice.
for Kyle
No,
Busch or for?
I'm just talking about Cheddar's in general. I'm just talking about a sponsor being Cheddar's. When it first got announced, I was like, Cheddar's. I've never even heard of this. But now,
Well,
obviously, it's grown on me. It is what it is. But
it's probably one of his better paint schemes now, and
it
it's just
is.
hard because when you come from M&M's, Interstate Batteries, Pedigree, couple others, like Kyle Busch ran it with the paint schemes throughout all the 2000s, 2010, going into the 20s. Like he absolutely had the best paint schemes, and just seeing him not in a Toyota and not driving with any affiliation to M&M's just feels weird. But I think he's
Now
done.
he's in.
Yeah, he's a
I was gonna
weed
say,
man now. That's for
yeah,
three cheap chai.
he's in 3 Chi, he's in Lenovo, and he's in a Cheddar's number 8. That's a somewhat of a step down, if we're being completely honest and
But
impartial, as we are.
tell me why it works though. Tell me why it like it's not that bad. Like I don't know. I thought I was gonna really hate it and stuff, but I don't know. The one that still kind of gets me is just seeing him in a Chevy compared to a Toyota. That just doesn't look right. That's gonna take at least another season to, I don't know, get it. But
I agree with you. It works completely. And the thing that I don't like about some paint schemes, just because we're on this topic, like for
mm,
example, race winner this week, Ross Chastain. I don't even remember what his paint scheme was. I don't remember what his sponsor was. It was like some
it was like a
moving
blue,
company.
yeah,
It
something
was
like,
it was it was blue, but it was like just some random ass company. It's
yeah,
like I don't
yeah.
know, like that. Those paint schemes, some always are like,
Car looks
that's so
tight, but it's not a memorable thing. And I think we've had this
no.
discussion before of, you know, racers, especially if you're a promising racer. Like, sorry, but yeah, Ross Chastain, he is a pretty promising racer.
He's
He
a
should be
top racer.
establishing. It's not his fault by any means. I know it's probably Trackhouse or whoever, but establish a brand and then continue to do that. Like Noah Gragson right now, yeah, he's had a few on and off with the Wendy's so far. And like think of Ty Gibbs for an example. Man has consistently drove monster like since he's been in the Cup Series. He fell. I mean, he took over Kurt's car and stuff like that, but just transitioned right into it.
I think it's kind of two factors. One, NASCAR as a whole. Obviously, if they were more profitable and if they had more eyes on them, then bigger sponsors would flock and they'd want to be a primary sponsor, race in and race out. Because,
Yeah,
like, let's just say, for example, the NFL. I'm just going to use a different company that's billion-dollar company. If they were doing sponsors on the helmets, they would have the Apples, the Teslas, the whatever other big blue chips you can think of. They're not going to
yeah,
have no Mahindra tractors or, like, not to throw a
yeah,
stray at my guy Chase Briscoe, but you know what I mean. It's like,
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
but yeah,
I
and then
mean,
also too,
yeah. I was just gonna say, just to add to that really quick. Another example is Kyle Busch, fantastic driver. He was driving, what was that grill company? He won too
yeah,
with them. But it's like, bro, what the fuck? Like the little Mon Pa grill for one of the best drivers in all of NASCAR. Like, but sorry,
it's
go
a
on.
shame. Oh
Yeah,
no, I was just gonna say the other factor in my opinion and what driver gets like what sponsor is it helps that Ty Gibbs is the grandson to Joe Gibbs. He's on
yeah,
also the biggest team arguably uh, in NASCAR, so it's like him locking in a monster sponsor or whatever else he gets shouldn't be all that surprising, because it's
yeah.
like yeah he's on the
Well,
biggest team,
now that we're
biggest
kind of on
name.
the subject of Ty Gibbs, um, I saw someone, I think it was from the Xfinity series, he was talking about, I don't know if it was shade directly towards Ty Gibbs, but he's like, I don't like people who's like, dad has a fat wallet or is already established in NASCAR, whatever. But Ty Gibbs, there might be some people might see a little bit of nepotism with it because, Joe
Oh
Gibbs
yeah.
is his grandpa and then he's there. But he talks the talk and he walks the walk. Like he's a half decent driver. I mean, I know he hasn't won yet, but this is his first year. And I'd say by far he's definitely outperforming Noah Gragson. And he just won the Xfinity Cup last year. So he's not like, a shitty driver by any means. So I don't know, just thought I'd throw that out there.
No, that's a good point. And obviously, though, we should just note that again, he's having a better year than Noah Gragson, which he is, but he's also in a much better car and a much better team. Like that is a factor that
Yeah,
does
yeah,
not
that
like
plays a
you
factor
can't.
for sure.
It definitely does. So it's like no disrespect to Legacy Motorsports, but it's like they're not competing with JGR. Just simple as
Yeah,
that. But no, Gibbs is. I think he's deserving of a seat regardless. But
I would say so. Well, should we talk about some of the finishes? Any surprise ones? I think as we were talking about, let me pull it up real quick. Legacy Motorsports, if I'm not mistaken, didn't like Eric Jones end up in the top 10?
yeah,
I'm
I
sure
think I
there
already
was.
have the. I already have it pulled up. Yeah, he finished P8, so really good day for him.
Yeah.
Uh, I'll just say the top five real quick. So got Chastain, got Truex 2, Denny Hamlin 3, which I thought Denny had a chance to win that race. That was one of my picks, so that was a bummer. Chase Elliott 4, and then Kyle Larson 5. That seems like a pretty solid group of five right there, in my opinion. Like those are the upper echelon of drivers in NASCAR.
Definitely Martin Truex Jr. Just had to throw that out there. He's been having a great year so far, so
He has been.
definitely like that. Yep. Anything that surprises? No, we weren't talking about Allmendinger, but
I do got one thing.
huh?
This is not a surprise, but our boy Todd
Is it
Gilliland,
time?
it's
Uh oh.
time. Sound
Todd
sound the
Gilliland time.
alarm.
Oof.
He had a tough day at the office today. Yesterday, I should say. Very tough.
It's
That's a P.
tough. When I actually heard his name drop, when I was watching the end of the race, it was Chastain and Truex, and they had to
And
pass
Gilliland's
Todd
getting
Gilliland.
laughed.
They said it. They're like, yeah, they got to move around Todd Gilliland. That's the only time you'll hear him is when he's getting fucking lapped. Ah,
Um,
bro. What about that Blaney crash? That was kind of scary.
yeah, that was weird. I didn't realize that some of those walls have like no padding because when you looked at the crash, at least in my opinion, it didn't even look bad. I thought that
No.
was the most like just like slight like he's gonna be fine within a second. Yeah, they were it was looking serious there for a little bit. Um,
Very, yeah.
yeah, so that was I mean obviously good thing, Blaney's good, but yeah, that
Yeah.
was a weird crash. I think it had something to do with the way the car is constructed and that he came on head first into the wall that kind of played into
Well,
it, but
they were mentioning that the hoods of the cars, you'll see that more, especially with those type of crashes, where it will look very impactful on the hood. Like the car's going to take a lot of the damage, but it's going to minimize the amount of damage that, or power that the driver takes. So yeah, I mean,
gotcha.
his day was over for sure. But yeah, so no, that was a little scary. Just kind of looking, I always keep an eye out, but Chase Briscoe, dude's not having a good year at all.
Dude, he is having a
31.
he's
And then,
having a
like what
piss
I've
poor
said,
year.
always keep an eye out. Austin Cindric, 27. 27.
Yeah, not ideal. I guess another one that I wanted to mention was just Harvick.
Yeah.
Really,
Yep.
really hoping he can get a win to end his career. That'd be awesome. Want to see one more from the closer, but
Yeah.
yeah, he was looking promising. Then he just had that issue that knocked him down, just completely threw his race out of whack, which was a total bummer. But
Yep. I'm gonna do
yeah,
my
that was
darts and nuts real quick, just kind of while we're talking about Kevin Harvick. Buddy threw 2 darts this weekend. Two big ones.
big ones. Oh, you
I
got a dark horse?
no.
Of course
Dude, you
not.
haven't won in a while, dude. The
Oh
fans are
well,
starting to forget about you, dude. They don't even know if you do
dude.
it, and you don't even post
I
your
threw
results. So,
I threw a dart this week, so get off my back about it.
yeah, cool. You got to post your results. But
I gotta.
anyways, Kyle Busch P10, okay, top 10 finish. Byron P6, top 10 finish. Then Chastain, quick dart right there. Manufacturer Chevy P1 dart. Then I did take our boy Harvick with ended with a P24. So that was my week. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good off of that one for sure. Yeah,
Yeah, not bad. Congrats. You got a dart for the race
two.
winner. You picked the pole sitter, so he started first and ended first. So really,
Yeah, and that's
you really
not that common for the pole sitter to win too. So
you really went just out on a limb. Congrats. We'll give you that. But no, I'll mention mine. So I got Byron. What did Byron finish?
that's
P6, not bad. Logano, ooh, Logano had a tough
nice
day. I
game. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know what Logano is doing. I'll be honest, I didn't even see what his issue was, if he even had one.
No, it
Um,
was just that
I
day.
think it's just a product of the Ford this year, but I digress. Also threw in Hamlin, who had a fantastic day. Thought he was going to win it. That's a top five
Yeah,
finish, P3. Uh, had to throw a quick dart, locked in Chevy. They've been killing it this year. And then
yep.
I thought Gibbs might have had a chance. He finished 14th, which isn't the worst by any
He was
means.
like dead on the money with what pole sitting at P15, P16 or something like that.
He started 16th, yeah, and then he finished
Yeah, that
14th.
was a
But
really
he,
risky dark horse for you to choose right there, the P16.
yeah, he looked really really fast. I was really hoping we could. Oh, was your dark horse Kevin Harvick?
Yeah,
Because his position was P17 to start the race, so I literally picked one above you. All right, that's. I think the burnouts are gonna have to give us some thoughts on that, but we'll go from there.
like 24 and 25.
So I got a
Yikes.
question for you,
Huh.
and the burnouts are curious as well. What's your thoughts on next week? Can you give us a little bit of
Yeah.
into the mind of old Logan on Chicago street race?
Yeah, I wanted to spend a little time with this. It is definitely a big race. I don't expect the turnout to be too big. I don't even know how they're even like charging tickets for it. Is it kind of like a free event? It sounds like. I don't know.
Hell no. If it was a free event, NASCAR would just be as dumb as they usually are. That would be crazy.
So, NASCAR does everything wrong, so it wouldn't really surprise me. But
Yeah, you got me
this is
there.
definitely trying to tap into a different market for sure. And I don't know. I'm a little worried going into that. I'm not a huge fan of Chicago, to be completely honest. Chicago's catching the stray right now, but yeah, I'm a little worried to be honest.
Yeah.
Um, and you know
Worried
what
about
would be
what?
just totally for the culture? I could see something happen where I mean we'll have to look at the pole sitters and stuff like that. But Bubba has a pretty big impact and community over in Chicago. Like he did the trial run for the track over there and stuff. So that would kind of just make sense if he ended up winning the race. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. What are you thinking about it?
Well, I didn't expect you to go that route by any means, but um, got a frog in my throat here. Excuse me. Sorry, burnouts.
I'm a
Uh,
lot of promotional stuff for this race. Pretty sure he is
yeah,
from
no,
Chicago.
no, I bet. I was asking more like what you thought of like what you think the race is going to be like, but either way, I looked at the track because shout out NBC did a
Yeah.
phenomenal job after the race. They showed the complete layout. They had people on track where the race is going to be going through. I guess the only thing that I wasn't, and it makes sense, it's a street course. It has to be this way, but there's two really really long straightaways, which
Oh,
is
okay, okay.
probably like 60% of the track. So like
Hmm.
don't get me wrong, it's definitely a street course, but if you actually look at like the layout of it, it's not
Mhm.
like Sonoma or it's not like anything like that. It's a completely different like vibe. It's like imagine
Not like
like
a road course, a traditional road course.
not at all, not at all. So I'm curious how it's going to look like how the race is going to play out essentially just with the layout of the track. Um, if there's
I'm
no
curious. Has
stage
NASCAR
breaks,
done something like this before?
I don't think they've ever done a street race.
No.
They've done road courses, but that's a different ball game.
Instead. I
It's on a
I
track.
kind of applaud NASCAR for this. This is something, going a little bit out of their element. Now, no, we do not need multiple of these throughout the season, but right
No,
here on 4th of July weekend, that's pretty big. That's
yeah,
really, really big.
and
Is it wait,
it's on.
this isn't the 4th of July weekend, is it, or is it? Yeah, it is, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. And they're doing it on Sunday though. They're not doing it on 4th of July. Obviously, that would be just too much. They're doing it on Sunday still, just for the weekend.
What date is
I'm
Sunday? Is
pretty
that oh,
the
it's
second.
4th of July on Tuesday, right? Okay, so it's 4th of July weekend, but obviously not on
Yeah,
4th of July. Yeah,
yeah. So
that'll be interesting. I'm definitely looking forward to watching that race. That'll be
uh,
something new. I think they're going all in on this, which is it's a gamble for sure. We'll see how it pays out, but should be pretty cool. It's kind of like what F1's doing going to Las Vegas, you know?
I mean, F1's putting in. I saw an article today. They're spending like $75 million repaving the entire strip. They're doing like they're going crazy with it. No disrespect to NASCAR, but
Yeah.
they don't got that bankroll. And I will say too, though, really quick, we're quick to shit on NASCAR when they do stuff wrong, which they do a lot of things wrong. But I
Good
agree
time.
with you. I got to applaud them for this because this is a risk, this is a gamble, but that's something NASCAR, at least in my opinion, isn't really known to do. They don't seem like really big risk takers. So the fact that they're kind of putting themselves out there, this could blow up in their face. This could be a terrible, terrible race. Could be a terrible event. The city of Chicago could hate it. It could have a terrible turnout. But they're trying something new, and we as fans, we always we're we're quick to condemn them when it's oh, they're stagnant, they're not growing, they're not doing this, they're not doing that. I respect it. Let's see what Chicago has to offer. So
I mean, have you noticed the general theme of this season alone has been they are definitely trying to widen
oh
their
yeah,
reach and get different audiences? Like the Bush Light Clash of Clans, they brought out Wiz
Wiz
Khalifa.
Khalifa. I was thinking the same
This
thing.
one is they're bringing the chain smokers. They're doing it. It's a whole event, whole ass event. It's not just a race. Like there's pre-concerts, everything. They're going kind of all in for it and definitely trying to attract to a younger crowd. So I hope them the best because I want, like we're talking about, anytime something good happens with NASCAR, that's great for the sport. That's good for us. Content deliverers, I guess you can say. Like we need something to talk about, and like we mentioned, maybe bringing some big name companies in, doing a little bit of marketing, just stuff like that. Anything that's good for the sport is good for us, good for the fans, and I'm all here for it.
Spot on.
I don't
I
want to
could
see
not
them
agree
do that.
more.
And I always feel like they're the redheaded stepchild to F1, not like they're even compared whatsoever, but in our small world, we always compare the two. And yeah, I mean, it's the last thing NASCAR needs to do. That, like, it's just so simple. They need to get off that bullshit CW or whatever, and they need to get a show on fucking Netflix or HBO Max, some shit like that, because it's just pissing me off that no one's gonna fucking watch the CW race to the championship. Like it's there's just so many things they can do that they don't do, and it's piss off worthy.
I agree
I'm
completely.
done.
I
I'm
No,
off
it's
my
fine.
soapbox.
I know you're passionate about the success of NASCAR because
Yeah,
we got into the sport and it sucked us in, and I'm just wishing that it would suck in more people, more eyes. I can see how it's not for everyone, of course. It's
definitely.
definitely it's a niche sport for sure, but because it's so long, a race is hours and hours and hours. But uh, yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I hope for the best, and I think Chicago. You know what? I'm cautiously optimistic for this
Yeah.
weekend.
If we could title an episode, that would be the title of this episode is cautiously
Cautiously
optimistic. I
optimistic.
like that.
I got
Do we
one.
touch? Yeah, what's up? You go
I
ahead.
was gonna say because I know we've obviously broken down the race for quite a bit, and burnouts might be kind
Yeah,
of one our thoughts on some stuff that's going on in the world of NASCAR. I wanted to ask you. I know you're not the biggest Stewart Haas Racing fan, but some news did become official this week.
oh yeah. Yep.
What's
Yep.
your thoughts on Josh Berry taking over the four? I know we touched on it a few weeks back, but now that the press conference is locked in,
Pretty
what are we
sure,
thinking?
like, if I'm not mistaken, didn't you like call this a few we're on episode 16, but I'm pretty sure a little while back. I mean, it's the right. Okay, well, I mean, it's
I threw a dart. I threw a dart is what I did.
I'm like just saying that. I don't even know if that's true. If you did, I mean, you can pull it up if you want. I'm kind of giving you some credit. I don't even know if that's factual or not, but I mean, it's
I
kind of
did.
the likable next steps. But yeah, no, Josh Berry. All I really gotta say to that is he's got some really big shoes to fill, and that video Kevin Harvick posted made me want to run through a brick wall. That was so. I got chills. I got
Yeah.
chills watching that. That was sick.
Yeah, I watched that video and I immediately said, I'm bought into the Josh Berry experience. I'm thinking he has
Oh,
a future
oh,
cup championship on the
oh,
mind.
fuck no. That's not how I felt about that video at all. Fuck no, no,
What do
not at
you
all.
mean?
I felt like it was just so fucking tight that Kevin Harvick. He's just a fucking man. He's just like Martin Truex Jr. It's like when he talks, you listen, and he had a fantastic inspirational speech. And I hope the best for Josh Berry too, but he's not going to come close. Now you can quote this and film this 10 years later, whatever. I'm saying right now he's not even going to obviously come close to Kevin Harvick's legacy,
Of course
but
not.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. But the state of Stewart Haas racing right now in NASCAR is piss poor, piss poor.
Yeah, yeah. Stewart Haas Racing is currently in shambles for sure.
Chase
And
Briscoe is wrong.
all right, chill out there. I will say it's a four man team. Harvick is our backbone. He is literally carrying the team. That's
Yeah,
doesn't need to be said. So with him leaving next year, I'm hoping that Josh Berry can come in and replicate some of his success. He's not going to replace Kevin Harvick. No one can do that. He's one of one,
he's
but
not make playoffs next year.
he's going to be a rookie. I would be shocked if he does. But we'll have to see how that goes. The next shoe to drop though for Stewart Haas Racing is what's going to happen with the 10. Eric
Yeah,
Almirola is completely just stringing us along at this point. He has said he wants to
yeah.
retire for years now. Keeps coming back. Smithfield brand loves him, so they keep getting him to come back. Um, I'm nervous because I
Did
don't
you
really.
say,
If
you say Riley Earps for him, right?
I
Stake over his.
that was a
Yeah.
prediction I threw out there. I don't think I can throw two darts because that would be a crazy if that actually happened. But
Well,
um,
Riley Earps will definitely be going to the Cup Series sooner or
oh,
later, so it's only a matter of
no doubt,
time. Yeah.
no doubt,
So
no doubt
awesome.
about it.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm just nervous because if again, no disrespect to Josh Berry, I think he definitely has a chance to be a successful driver. But if that's the driver we get to replace the four, which I'm not saying like he could turn out to be fantastic, but it's like who's going to replace the 10 at that point? You know, it's like we replace Kevin Harvick with Josh Berry. Who are we going to replace Eric Almirola with? Like, oh, if it's Cole Custer, dude, I swear, I might
Cole
have
Custer
to.
needs where he is right now.
Custer is the definition of nepotism. He is. If you look up nepotism in the freaking
Yeah.
dictionary, Cole Custer's right next to it. But
No
oh,
kidding.
I just wanted to bring that up. I know the burnouts wanted to hear our thoughts, so
Well, one thing we'll do real quick before we wrap it up. Do you have any comments on, not that we need to do too much, but do you have any comments about the Canadian GP? That was 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks
No,
ago, no
nope.
comments. We're
No
on to the next
comment.
next. Nope, there's no need. When Max Verstappen just laps the field, uh,
Yeah.
I think the burnouts know there's nothing needs to be said.
That was a good race, though. I thoroughly enjoyed that race, actually. Not gonna lie, that was
Talking
a.
about, talking about the
Besides, I mean,
Canadian
the
GP.
clear winner is, yeah, clear winner is going to be Verstappen. You could just basically assume that every single race, and it's really making F1 almost borderline painful to watch when it comes to that because you just know it's going to be Red Bull is going to win first, but then you're looking, oh well, who's going to get second? Who's going to get third? You know, who's going to go on podium and stuff. like that. And I don't know. Yeah, I don't really have any
That's
closing comments except for that. I thought that was a pretty good race, though. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's a bummer when you can say a week before the race starts that you know who's going to win, or at a minimum know the manufacturer who's going to win. The team. But yeah, he's just having a dominant year. Red Bull is on another planet.
One thing too, I wanted to bring up. Just this happened today, actually, but Ryan Reynolds is a part owner of Alpine now. Did you see that?
I did see that. Yeah,
Pretty sick.
the
Pretty
dude
sick.
the dude has so much money he doesn't even know what to do with it at this point. He's buying soccer teams, he's buying stakes in F1 teams. Before you know it, he'll be on an NFL or NBA ownership group.
Dude is getting stupid rich with his money. Yeah, good for
Yeah,
him.
he's
Good.
killing it, which is crazy because I mean he's a good actor for sure, but yeah, he's running his money up, and he has all those phone commercials now, or not even the phone, the
Owned the
uh
company. I think he sold that company, and that's where he got a lot of money and was able to kind of do some
wait,
of this
what?
shit. He
What
owned that
company?
Mint Mobile company. Mint Mobile.
He sold it, but he's still in all their ads. He's their main
Some shit.
spokesman. Every single
He's
ad is him.
stake in it. I don't know, but I know he sold it though.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
actually cool. I'd never even heard of it. I just see the commercials sometime like late at night. I'm like, what the hell is
Mr.
this?
Broke.
Mint Mobile?
Yeah. So, all
Dude,
right.
I'm on Mint.
I'm not Mint Mobile, but I'm sure.
Dude, I think if some of the burnouts, if any of the burnouts are on Mint, just hopefully they're not tuned in at this point. Hopefully they turned off the pod.
If they're on Mint Mobile, they're not on Apple Podcasts. I can tell you that.
Good point.
All right.
They might be on
Well,
YouTube.
they're probably on YouTube, and that's probably where they listen to all their music too. So, yeah.
Nice. You're
Um,
doubling down.
yeah, doubling down. Okay. So, well, I'd say that's about a wrap. Do you have any other ending comments at all? No?
No, feel free
Oh,
to send us off.
all right, Burnouts. Well, that's another wrap for Next Gen Burnouts. We will be back next weekend for live coverage of the Austrian GP as well as the Chicago Street Race. We will see what happens there. But thanks for always following. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment, anything that you can. Burnouts have been really pulling out with the engagement lately, and let's keep it up. Until next time, we'll see you then. Take care.